All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Week number 5 in college football. I got 3 games that I want to jump into for today's videos. We got 3 games, all spread picks on the video. In terms of last week, a 4-1 week. We'll take the cash, guys, and we're so damn close, so close to the 5-0 sweep. Clemson could have, would have, should have, whatever you want to call it, could have pulled that game out. They did not. FSU takes the dub there and covers in OT, but a 4-1 week. Let's pump in some crowd noise. We ain't going to complain over that, right? We shall take that. We are now 3 of 4 profitable weeks in college football so far, and we're journeying up to get ready for week number 5 here. Before we do that, I do want to talk to you about today's sponsor. It is OddsJam, guys. You can use the link in the pinned comment, get 7 days free, and on top of that, if you choose to continue your subscription, you get 25% off your first month of that subscription with code GUYBOSTON, GUYBOSTON. I'm loving OddsJam, guys, especially for college football, but for all sports here. This is their plus EV tool. If you don't know what that is, it pretty much identifies all of the best prices in the market. For example, New Mexico taking on Wyoming, right? Plus 520 for New Mexico money line on FanDuel right now. The average odds at plus 447, plus 425 on BetMGM, plus 455 on DraftKings, way up there, plus 520 on FanDuel. You can look all the way around here. You can even set your minimum odds if you don't want, these high flyers or anything like that. And they also have the sportsbook screen, which is crazy. Compares literally every sportsbook out there for pretty much every damn near play that's possible. And my favorite thing, and the reason it's favorite is, it is guaranteed profit, is the arbitrage screen. If you don't know what arbitrage betting is, it identifies, I guess, sort of plays to capitalize on. For example, this is a Yankees versus Blue Jays play for tonight, right? FanDuel has Oswald Peraza over 0.5 RBIs, and then Oswald Peraza's under 0.5 RBIs on BetMGM. If you were to play both sides of it, it's guaranteed profit, guys. I'll show you how it works. If you were to put $100 on the FanDuel side, you'd profit $360. That's more than you'd, less on the MGM side of things. And then same thing, you put $257 on the MGM side of things, well, you profit $360. You'd be getting a profit margin here of 0.79%, and obviously, a guaranteed profit of $2.86 there, guys. Really, really cool tool. I have a video on the channel if you guys want to check it out, that dives deep into OddsJam and that arbitrage screen as well, to kind of walk through how to use it. But enough rambling, guys. Again, that link is in the pinned comment, and you can use that code GUYBOSTON to get a little bit extra off the top. Let's go ahead and jump into the first game of today's slate. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, buckle up, and let's jump into the Oregon State taking on Utah here. Right now, the total sitting at 45. I've seen it at 44.5 on plenty of sportsbooks using the OddsJam tool, comparing all of the lines. I'm not interested in the total. If anything, I lean towards the under, but nothing really that I see as an edge there. The spread, however, right now, Oregon's sitting at -3.5, and I do like the Utes to win this one almost outright. I'm gonna take the points, but I could see the Utes beating the Beavers. Utes beating the Beavers. That does not. It sounds like a high school, or no, like a Pop Warner type of a matchup, right? The Utes taking on the Beavers today, but nonetheless, I do like Utah catching the 3.5 points. If this was 2.5, I probably would just take the flyer on Utah on the money line. But I like the fact that we're getting a field goal plus in this spot, and reason being, I talked about it in last week's video. I am so sold on this Utah defense. I really am. Now, they may not have the best of pass defense, okay? They are a really good defense all around, but I'm saying where they excel is in that run defense here. 4th best when it comes to rushing yards, 4th in yards per carry as well. One of the best rush defenses in the entire nation right now. What is Oregon State good at offensively? Running the ball. They have multiple backs that can carry it and mix it up from the backfield. But I think that, if that's their strength, I feel like a kryptonite for them would be an extremely, extremely, extremely good run defense like the Utes. Now, I will say, if you view that in reverse and you're kind of like a glass half full, half empty, or tomato, you could say, okay, well, guess what? What's the worst thing for a run defense? A good run defense facing a really, really good rush offense, right? But I don't see it that way. I see this defense being a lot better than what we see from the running attack on the Oregon State side of things. Oregon State obviously just catching their first L last week, but they're really not as battle tested, I wouldn't say, as Utah has been, playing Florida, Baylor, and even UCLA. I think that this team has been through the ringer and has seen some higher class football to start the year here, Toys. So I do think that this is going to be a game in which Utah prevails. And again, this is a game that I think is going to be played within the trenches. Why wouldn't I catch plus 3.5 points, right? Like, again, if it was plus 2.5, I'd probably kick away the value of the points and look at the money line, but we have some serious value at plus 3.5 here. I might lock this one early as well to make sure we get those odds. I'm always putting all the plays and the odds that we get them at in the pinned comments, so make sure to keep an eye on that. But yeah, Utah plus the 3.5. I'm loving this spot. If their defense lets me down this week, then we'll reconsider moving on. But nonetheless, I do think that this is a good spot for them. So give me the Utes plus the 3.5 points. And guys, before we do get into the rest of the slate, I want to let you know at the end of the video we have an announcement, a little bit of a bittersweet announcement here, but I do want to let you guys know we have some news at the end of the video, so make sure to stick around for that. We're moving on to our next game here, and this one seems a little simple to me, to the point that I think it may be a trap spot. We have Kentucky hosting Florida here. Kentucky minus 2.5 in terms of the point spread. They are favored. The total sitting at 44.5. Kentucky undefeated right now. They're 3-1 against the spread, 3-0 at home here. Florida, obviously, we just talked about the team. Their one loss this year was Utah, that played really good defense against them, but they're 3-1 here on the season. 1-3 against the spread, not all that great, but they're catching points today. And I do think that that is a good spot for them. They're only, other than the Utah loss, the only other time that they were underdogs was against Tennessee, and they win that game outright. I like Florida plus the 2.5 points. I might even consider them on the money line here for around plus 118 odds or so. I don't think Kentucky's been tested. Like, the teams that Kentucky has played do not scare me whatsoever. Starting off the season against Ball State, then they move into Eastern Kentucky, then they play Akron, and then they play Vanderbilt. Like what are we doing here? They were minus 25, minus 34.5, minus 25.5, minus 13 in all of those games. And yes, they're covering them, but they're still playing. Sorry if you like those schools, but trash schools in terms of the competition that we'd like to be talking about here, right? So Florida plus the point seems like a no-brainer to me. I even, like I said, like them on the money line. To see the final play there, keep an eye on the pinned comment. I'll let you know if I'm rolling with the spread or the money line. But yeah, I just think they're a way more talented team. They do have a better defense, even though their defense has struggled at times. The defense looks pretty good, like at times looking like one of the better defenses out there. Their offense is coming along, even in, that game against Utah. At points, it looked like Florida was firing on all cylinders, right? A lot of mistakes, new coach, new quarterback. Their game one loss, I'm kind of willing to be like, all right, it makes a little bit of sense to me. This spot here, maybe I'm missing something. Is it really just that Kentucky, they have won the recent matchups against Florida, I guess, if you look at it from head to head, but is it really just because they're at home that they're laying these points? I see Florida winning this game outright. Give me them on the money line. And then, like I said, if I do see this line move or anything, we could consider it on the spread. But all day long, I think they're the more talented team, higher pedigree here. They've been more battle tested this season. Give me Florida in on this game, whether it's the money line or the spread. Keep an eye on the pinned comment. I know I've said that a gajillion times. So let's move on to our last game of the slate here. And we're looking at a team that deserves a bounce back spot, and we are giving it to them. We're looking at Notre Dame taking on Duke here. Notre Dame on the road after that loss against Ohio State. They did cash for us. We got it at 3.5. They lose by, what was it, 3, right? So that was a nice little cash for us, even though they end up losing the game within the final seconds there. But 5.5 points, winning by touchdown, doesn't seem all that crazy to me. Another team that I feel like Duke just really hasn't been totally battle tested. You could say week number 1, sure, they kind of shocked the world. Clemson looks like trash. They go out there and play good football. I'll give them credit there. But I think this Duke team is better offensively. I think this Duke team is miles better defensively, and they're a really good pass defense too, right? A really good pass defense. 6th best when it comes to pass yards allowed in the nation, 2nd when it comes to completion amount, and then they're the best team in the nation right now, holding the lowest, for their opponents, the lowest completion percentage. Riley Leonard, quarterback for Duke. He's had good games. he's also had some tough games. I don't think he's going to be up for the task if he has to start throwing the ball and they put the ball in his hands, which I do think Notre Dame's going to be able to get up early in this, and it's going to cause Riley Leonard to try and bring his team back, which I'll take Notre Dame versus him any day of the week, especially a hungry Notre Dame. This is a Notre Dame team that should have, could have, would have, if things bounced the other way, won against Ohio State, and which was one of the most hyped games of the season, right? So I'll take Notre Dame minus the 5.5. I'll play that up to 6.5. Probably I like them to win by a touchdown. Obviously, we want the best odds possible, but give me Notre Dame here minus the 5.5 points. Now, guys, I said we have an announcement here, right? And it's bittersweet. This is most likely my last week doing college football. Now, the college football videos and picks will continue on a weekly basis, but we're bringing on my man Tassos. If you don't know who he is, we host a show together right here on this channel, H2H. It's a head-to-head show for NFL picks. So yeah, he's going to be taking the reins. Really good sports bettor. He's kicking my ass right now in head-to-head if you guys tune into that. But yeah, we're giving him a shot at the big leagues per se. He does his own podcast and like that, which is really, really cool. And he does great content. But now we're bringing him back into bringing him into more of a role in the picks lane here, because he's been my right-hand man for quite some time now. Let's get him some more FaceTime. So make sure you do support the show as it moves forward. We'll see how I end up for the season. Might be still tweeting picks and everything like that, but in terms of bandwidth and everything like that, with the NBA getting ready to go, we got to schedule out when these videos and who these videos are getting created by. So I did want to break that news to you. Like I said, it's bittersweet because between NBA, MLB, NFL, H2H, all the shorts we do, all that stuff, guys, it's a lot, and college football just happened to be the one that I think that is a really good opportunity for him, because we haven't totally carved out that vein yet on the channel. Even though we've been doing it for a couple of years, I think that he could be even better than me, which is man of me to say, but I can trust Tasso. So there is the announcement, guys. Yeah, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. We just hit 30,000 subscribers. At the point of you guys watching this, probably a couple days ago, but damn. One last cheer. This is my last hurrah on, most likely, on the college football pick show. But yeah, guys, it's been real. Obviously, still be plenty on the channel with all the other sports. But yeah, shout out to Tassos for stepping up. I know he's going to crush this spot. And yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Hopefully, we cash this week. Keep an eye on the pinned comment for any updates, and we'll catch you guys in the next video, all right? Peace out.